Hey, everybody. How are you on this Wednesday evening? Welcome to another episode of Food Worth Forking. I'm your host, Laura Williams, and welcome. I'm happy you're here. I'm very happy you're here. And before we get started tonight, let's talk about a few things. First, if you are not subscribed to Food Worth Forking, please subscribe. Go to YouTube, subscribe. Like this episode, hit that bell so you'll get the notifications. They're important. And then tell a friend. You tell a friend, and then they'll tell a friend. And, that's how it works. We're out here helping each other. So, again, Food Worth Forking, food, dating, and lifestyle. So, we are going to get started. We have comments already. Oh, yes, for the shimmer. Yes, there's a little shimmer happening tonight. Yes, Kenya. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. But we are going to get this episode started. Listen, I am very excited. I'm very excited because I have a newfound foodie friend, person to the podcast. She's fantastic, and I want to get started and tell you about her and about what we're talking about tonight. So listen. So tonight we're talking about purpose. On purpose, living on purpose, what that means for those of us, over 35. We have milestones in our lives. Like when you turn 18, that's a shift. 21, 25, 35, 30, 35, 40. You get it. You get what I'm saying. And so we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about purpose. So let's get it together. Once I get it together here, we can get it together. So I'm going to introduce her and let's get it started. So tonight, our guest is Meghan Krause. She's going to share with us her thoughts and advice regarding purpose, living and doing things on purpose, what we get wrong about purpose, and what to do instead. So let me tell you a little bit about Meghan. Meghan is a midlife transition coach, teacher, speaker, and writer known for her fun, curious, and non-judgmental approach to helping people ages 35 to 55 overcome, is this as good as it gets? And we're going to talk about that tonight. She helps people embrace this period of adaptation and growth by giving them the foundations in coaching science, lifestyle medicine, and the art of life transition. Meghan has a master's in public health, a master's of arts degree, and national board certified health and wellness coach. Meghan's worked in well-being for 16 years, holds her master's in health promotion and integrative healing therapies, is double board certified in lifestyle medicine and well-being coaching, and has advanced training. Listen, this woman is serious, y'all. Y'all better get ready. Has advanced training in energy healing and cognitive behavioral therapy. Basically, she's a non-judgmental combo of guide on the side and spirited best friend with way better listening skills. And I think you're going to enjoy this and you're going to enjoy her. So we are going to welcome, hold on, let me get it together. You know how I do sometimes. Meghan Krause, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, Laura. Thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
I am excited that you are here. So, listen, we're going to get started. So, our topic for today, you are coming with your expertise, and we're talking about purpose. And so, before we get into purpose, Meghan, tell us about you and tell us about your podcast, Bullshift, and how you started.
Sure, yeah. Well, I am a curious lifelong learner, and I've always been interested in well-being because it is so multidimensional. And so if I look back to being raised on a farm, to really being into sports, to creative expression being a huge part of who I am, I naturally kind of dabbled in well-being. And, fast forward to age 42, almost 43, and I'm happy to be here just to share a little bit about my work. I work with people who are roughly ages 35 to 55, and I help them go from, is this as good as it gets, to how good can it get? And, my work is primarily one-to-one, and then I have a few programs that I do in a group setting. And I wanted to get the opportunity to connect with more people and deliver value for more people because, well, first of all, outside of COVID and outside of the racial pandemic as well, people in midlife sort of struggle. And I say this with a caveat. It's not a midlife crisis like we're told on screen and stage.
Yeah.
But there is, research that looks at happiness, and it's a U-curve. Picture a U shape. And the bottom of that U-curve is somewhere between the ages of 43 to 47. So there's this malaise that's going on that people don't necessarily give enough credence to, but then they joke about it being a crisis, and then they kind of like repress it and don't deal with it. So my job that I get to do, and the reason I started Bullshift is to really offer sort of a coaching manual, a meditation on life, and maybe a memoir to really help us all examine our lives that on the outside might seem comfortable, but on the inside, people are grappling with some dissatisfaction, and help people arrive at their own epiphany. Or their bullshift, as I like to call it.
I love that name.
Thanks. Yeah. So, I just want to paint or share the varying textures of midlife challenges, and then powerful practices that can ultimately lead to meaningful transition. Because the thing about it is, we spend nearly half our adult lives in some type of transition. So let's make it more satisfying.
I agree. I agree. Well, I'm ready to get into it and learn. So let's get into this. So let's talk about purpose, on purpose, what we get wrong about purpose, and what to do instead. So I guess where we start is like, what do you say about purpose or on purpose?
Yeah. So first, let's kind of ground it in a shared understanding. What really is purpose? Well, purpose is really a result aimed at an intention, a resolution, an intention to live in a certain way. That's the simplest way to think about it. And we cause all sorts of consternation for ourselves because we think it's outside ourselves. And so, usually when a mid-career professional will come to me, they're fired up because they want answers. What's my purpose? And they really can't wait. And, I've worked with thousands of people throughout my well-being career. And the greatest barrier to living our purpose is often this omnipresent belief that we need to find it. How many times have you said or used the word find in relation to your purpose?
A lot. I think that's a thing that people, well, you hear, like, there's that confusion, like, well, what is my purpose? Like, I think I'm doing it, or, well, I don't understand. Maybe I'm wrong. Am I doing the right thing? Constantly questioning. I'm questioning myself anyway.
Yeah. And, so many of us think that we need to find this one true cause. And we want to know that, our mission is to save two-legged dogs or to find a cure for cancer. And of course, it doesn't help that we see, the likes of Angelina Jolie with refugees, or President Jimmy Carter with Habitat for Humanity, who are really steadfast in that way. And they've helped us popularize this notion that we need to find this one true cause. And of course, the idea of having some sort of destiny is really a part of American mythology, and it applies to a lot more than social causes. And it's just, it's true for every topic. So you talk about dating. We see it, romantic relationships. Who's my true love?
Yes.
This question, what are you going to be when you grow up? So the thing about it is, like, people want to hear that you knew you were going to be a doctor or a basketball player or a lawyer or whatever. Then, the minute you took your first step. And then when you're successful, you're expected to tell this version of your biography that supports this mythology. And so for your early years of adulthood, you climb the professional ranks. And so being able to point to this story of your professional success really is part of your manifest destiny, and it works really well. Then we enter midlife, where we're approaching a phase where we're navigating all sorts of changes, caring for kids if you have them, caring for aging parents if you have them. And there is this research-backed happiness U-curve. And so, sure, the destiny story for the first couple decades works really well, but by the time you hit midlife, early midlife, you're starting to recognize this bullshit. But you're still operating within that unhelpful, broader paradigm of purpose. Again, that it's something you have to find. And so, and look at our superheroes. Like Batman saw his parents murdered, and it became his purpose to fight crime in Gotham City. Superman discovered that his people were wiped out because of civil war, and he found his purpose in fostering peace and civility. And sure, this happens like big life events for some people, but for most of us, living our purpose isn't about finding a destination. It's about unlocking an inner compass or direction.
Okay.
That's a big thing.
What is that? Because you mentioned this about the U curve. What does that mean?
Yeah, so basically it means that, again, around the ages of 43 to 47, and actually earlier for women than men, 37 as early as for women, there's this dip in happiness. And it's sort of this unexplained dip in terms of the sociological writings about it. And it lasts longer for men than it does for women.
Okay.
And invariably, when you hit your early 50s, certainly by 55, you kind of come out the other side, and you have this recognition of, oh, life isn't so bad. But you can imagine, due to life circumstances, due to this recognition of a greater sense of purpose, maybe a lack of clarity around what that might mean, but this awakening to all the bullshit that's going on in our lives, that contributes to that dip in happiness.
Gotcha. So how would you, with that, what would be some suggestions of how we should think about purpose now? So if this is where we are, we know that, okay, is purpose really one thing? Because it could be many things. I know that's one way, but what are some suggestions of ways that, people can look at it or think about it?
Yeah. So I've got two kind of common myths that I want to just quickly dispel right away.
Okay.
First, I talked about this already. First is, purpose isn't a cause, it's an approach to work and to serving others. Or said another way, purpose is a verb, not a noun.
Okay.
And then the second one is that purpose is a journey. It doesn't come as a revelation from above, but rather from seeking new experiences and unlocking your inner wisdom. So then the question becomes, okay, well, how do we unlock it? And I'll give you a simple formula for doing so. And this is, there's a lot to it, but think of it like you got a sheet of paper next to you. We can all remember an easy equation. So the equation is G plus P plus V equals purpose. So our life purpose will always be an expression of our gifts. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
what we feel we're naturally good at and enjoy doing. Number two, our passions, what we feel passionate or care deeply about, or said another way, what would break our heart. And then V is for values. So we feel that it fits our values in terms of how we prefer to operate in the world.
Okay.
Gifts plus passion plus values equals our purpose or our calling. So that's just a quick way to explore that. And then there's another way, which is kind of, think of it like filling in the blank. I call it sort of the Twitter test.
Okay.
You
Okay.
can answer it in as few as 140 characters. And even though Twitter now is 280 characters, I think. So, it's like the prompt is, I gain a sense of purpose when I use my gifts,
Mm-hmm.
right? To serve my passion, fill that out.
Right.
In a culture or setting that values, fill it out. And what gets me up in the morning is blank.
Those are really good.
It sounds so simple.
Yeah.
Powerful. We don't give ourselves enough credit to know that we possess everything we need to discern purpose.
Man. And we have to tap into it.
Yeah. Can I share an example of?
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is an example from my grandmother, my dearly departed grandmother. She just passed early in February at age 97. She would have been 98 on Monday of this week.
Oh, wow.
She had late stage dementia, but she endured some pretty significant tragedy in her life. And it's really just a beautiful illustration of purpose. So married my grandfather, had 2 kids on a farm, raising them, very successful in what they did. And then when her kids were 17 and 19, a tornado destroyed their entire farm site.
Oh, wow.
And my grandpa was literally caught in the tornado physically, set atop a granary from which he fell.
What?
And spent months in intensive care with amnesia. I mean, just like, it was tragic. Meanwhile, my grandma has 1 kid in college and 1 at home who's a junior in high school, needs to find a way to not just afford living. They're farmers. Everything was demolished, all their livestock, all their crops. It was spring, so the crops weren't in yet. But point being, she became an Avon lady. This was 1967.
Okay.
And so it was early in terms of what women were doing in the working world. And she went on to have a 41-year career, an award-winning career in Avon. And it got her out of the house. She connected with people. She served people. It was the lowest point in her life. She didn't know if she wanted to continue her life because she had this husband who no longer recognized her. He was in the hospital. He didn't know which way was up or down. Yeah, it was just demoralizing. But the ability to grow in the way that she grew, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, and in the way that she gave to her clients, it really anchored her in a sense of purpose.
Wow. That's a beautiful story. And that is also, and it was something you mentioned earlier, in just, my 2 cents, but there's a point, and not everyone has the capacity to do that. But there's an intention, like you have to be with something like that, especially with a story like that, that is intentional. What I need to do, what can I do? Let me look around and see and connect. And if that wasn't it, if it wasn't Avon, or maybe Avon was it, and then Avon would lead her to something else, and then that will lead her to something else. And I guess that's also an example. That's a great example of what you're saying of purpose, of just, and sometimes maybe we don't even know that's what it is. We don't know, like, that story or your journey or what you're going through. That is That is your purpose because it's affecting someone else around you
Yeah.
or in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah. There's are you familiar with Viktor Frankl? Have you heard that name? He wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning. It's a pretty popular book. Millions of copies have been sold. And he, the short of it is, he was in a concentration camp for like 4 years during the
Okay.
Holocaust. He later went on to be an MD, a neurologist and psychiatrist. And, you know, he has a line that says something like, when we know our why, we can endure most anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his life is living proof of that. And the why doesn't always have to be this big cause, like I've said. It can be found in the small moments. And, you know, when we look at the research, so there's a book called Blue Zones. I helped edit that book back in like 2006. It's very popular. Blue zones are regions of the world where people enjoy the healthiest longevity.
Okay.
And, you know, purpose is a big part of it. And when we look at longevity, Harvard did a study and essentially looked at these people who had the longest lived lives and what they learn and what would they do differently. And they said they'd take more time to reflect. They said they'd be more courageous. And they said that they want their life to matter.
Mm.
And mattering matters.
Sure does. It does.
Yeah, it does. You know, from a health perspective, like purpose is really important.
Mm-hmm.
There's this famous neuroscientist, Dr. Mahid Fatoui, who really lays it out. He says, okay, imagine a pill, right? And what would you pay for this pill that's going to help you reduce the effects of Alzheimer's by a significant amount? It's going to help you reduce the incidence of stroke by like 40%. It's going to help you reduce your risk of dying early. This is true no matter your gender, your race, your socioeconomic status, or your education level. It's going to help you improve your sleep and maybe reduce your sleep apnea or other disorders.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got this pill, right? How much would you pay for it? Probably a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to. It's free. The pill is purpose.
Mm. Okay.
And
Okay.
it's more important in terms of decreasing the risk of early death than drinking, than smoking, than exercising regularly.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, we need to get to work. We need to get to work, people. We need to get to work. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So
You know,
what do you okay, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say what else, what else about well-being and that those things are important, but is there anything else that we're missing that's, along with that in line with that, excuse me, with purpose?
Yeah. You know, it's easy to remember things in 3s, 5s, and 7s. So 3, purpose, connection, and vitality. Like that's what you want to focus on. And
Okay.
so a really simple prescription. All right, so we talk about the pill.
Yep.
Let's run with that metaphor because I work with a lot of doctors and advanced practice clinicians and nurses.
Okay.
And so I'm going to step outside my ranks and offer a prescription, which it's a quick one. Commit to growing and commit to giving.
Mm.
We like to complicate all of these things. And we do so in our society because we like to monetize things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yet time and again, whether we're talking about purpose, whether we're talking about like stress management, psychological self-care, post-traumatic growth, burnout, all of these topics have important nuances. I don't want to diminish that, but they have some really consistent principles. So when you ask the question about like, what else do we need to know about well-being? Tell you what, I was just on a webinar yesterday with a doctor who's a pain doctor. And we were talking about trauma. And we're talking about moving through trauma and toward post-traumatic growth. And I said, how can you get the biggest like bang for your buck in terms of this? What could we do? You know what he said?
What?
Hugging.
I cannot wait to get a good hug. But go ahead. Sorry.
Well,
I think that's important. I think he is absolutely right. Absolutely.
I have warned my friends and family. I'm like, I'm gonna hug you so hard.
Yes.
And he said that not even in relation to the fact that we can't hug people, because like it wouldn't look good if a doctor is saying hug.
Right. Like, no, sir, no.
But isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And our breath. But it's hard to monetize hugs and breaths.
Yeah.
So we're told, get this wearable watch to track your, steps and like track your macros and do all these other things. Comes back to purpose, connection, and vitality.
Mm. Mm-hmm. And that makes sense because listen, I think when you feel good and when it's comfort, I think people just more willing to go out and try. Those are also safe feelings or safe spaces. So if people feel safe, we move, we do.
Mm-hmm. Now, I would also add, like, vitality is kind of purpose and connection are pretty clear. Like, connection could be with friends, it could be spiritual, it could be connecting with nature. Purpose could be related to a job, it could be related to volunteering, or, I sort of think of a job as different than a mission, which is different than a career, which is different than a calling.
It is.
If you look at fulfillment and success, they're all a little bit different. But vitality is a little bit more dynamic. And when I say vitality, I mean your mental health, your physical health. So eat, move, sleep, those sorts of things. We really complicate it because we just want to be told, like, if I watch all of Virgin River on Netflix in one weekend, am I connecting with my creative expression?
Right.
We just don't necessarily do it. So my job as a coach is in being trained how to ask questions that help people elicit what matters most for them and how to make that happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Very good. Well, this is exciting. This is good stuff. It is. It's great information. It's good stuff. So tell us, like, what's coming up with you? What other you just gave us, really, you just laid a good foundation. So if someone didn't know or are questioning, though, these are all steps and all tools. And it's really at that point, once you have the tools and you have the information, it's up to you. It's up to you to pick them up and to use them and to move. Yeah. So what else is going on? What's going on with you? What's coming up?
Yeah. Oh, well, actually, the timing of this, I mean, you didn't even know it when we first started communicating. I didn't share this with you, but I'm actually next week releasing a program. It's called Career to Calling Accelerator. And so starting this Sunday, people can sit down to have a call with me. The program itself starts on the 5th. And it's really to help people live their purpose by helping them, understand the essence of what makes them feel fulfilled. Mm-hmm. And then creating a way to live out their calling in a way that aligns with their values, with their financial needs, with like their standards of integrity, how they want to show up in the world, with their lifestyle choices. And it's a 90-day program.
Oh, and nice.
It involves working with me. It involves helping people get really clear and grounded in, not just what their purpose is, but how it best will align in their life. Because like I said, for some, it might be in the form of a full-time, position. For others, it might be volunteering, but predominantly it's is really about helping mid-career professionals really discern their calling and then reinvent their experience so that they can enjoy greater fulfillment.
Cool. Cool. And it could not have come. I don't know if you have been waiting to do this or how long you've been waiting to do this, but it could not have come at a better time.
I
It
know.
really couldn't. It's like perfect timing.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Perfect.
And also like in terms of society, people are starting to, the world is starting to open up.
Yeah.
There's sort of a sense of hope that's kind of emerging, among people. And they're starting to see with the ability to reflect and look inward in the past year that maybe they want something different for themselves. Mm-hmm. And so I'm here to help them define it and make it happen.
Oh, that's amazing. That's awesome. Well, I'm excited. I can't wait for you to tell me what happens and how I was like helping all these people, because that's what's going to be happening, which is a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. But one thing I would like to add, and then we're going to move into our next segment, is we were talking about earlier, just, the intention of purpose. And then, it's just a thought, because with that, there's also, it's uncomfortable. Yeah. So with things that we do, things that are different, it's uncomfortable. But if we move past being uncomfortable and really, again, even with intention of like, I'm going to keep going, although this is uncomfortable, the other side is, I think, will be amazing when you get there. And then we have you to help us along the way, Megan. So,
well,
I mean, it's great stuff.
Yeah. And may I share something about discomfort?
Yeah.
Discomfort gets like a bad rap in our society because we falsely associate it or assume it to mean, oh, something's wrong, I need to stop. Actually, what's happening is a series of biochemical changes in our body. And these are new hormones that we're not used to experiencing. And because they're new and unfamiliar, we misread what is actually happening. And this is why we see people give up, even though they really want the thing. And often the giving up happens just before we've sort of adapted to that new biochemistry and before the big awakening and ahas and changes happen.
Okay. Well, that makes sense, though.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Because we get scared.
Yeah. Well, and then there's the whole mindset, the whole mindset piece. Yeah. Like, what if
you know what? I'm not going to do that.
And that is why I really do work on providing coaching science. So the focus of mindset, lifestyle medicine, like understanding your body's biochemistry and working with it to foster it, and the art of life transitions, because life transitions are an art. There's a sequence to it. And that's kind of my special alchemy in terms of how I work with people.
Okay. Well, listen, you heard her here. Follow Megan, get with it. If you need it, invest in you. This is a wonderful thing. And just to kind of end this segment, in the meantime, as we're doing this and even considering doing the work for ourselves, this is just a little something that I've started to add to the podcast. Is just, in the meantime, what are you bringing to the table? And what's your recipe for your purpose? What do you think it is? What's your recipe? And just kind of jot it down along with the tools that Megan has, blessed us with tonight, and the ideas, even if it's just sparking the thought, that's still a great thing. So invest in you. Invest in you. I think that's food worth working.
Yes, absolutely. Whole food.
Yes. All right, everyone. We are about to get into the next segment of the show, of the podcast. It's time for a little in between the bites. In between the bites, and tonight we are going to, oh, wait, let me back up. Meghan is our co-host. Meghan is my co-host. So she is joining me for the rest of this episode. So, okay, here we go. I don't want to forget that. Be like, oh, bye. No, she's staying. Yeah, so let's get in between the bites. So let's talk about it. Like, okay, so it is Women's History Month still. And I want to talk about a woman, just a little bit about some accomplishments that she's made. And her name is Desiree Robinson. And Desiree Robinson is, she is the first African-American woman to be inducted into the Barbecue Hall of Fame. She is co-founder and pitmaster at Cozy Corner, which is in Lexington, Mississippi. Well, I'm sorry, she was born in Lexington, Mississippi, but the restaurant is in Memphis. My bad. Sorry, you guys. And she's been doing this since 1977. So we just want to give it up to Desiree for making that huge accomplishment, because there aren't many women in barbecue at all, or even pitmasters. But there are a lot of women out here. We just don't hear about them. We definitely don't see them on television. We might see one or two, but we don't see them. And I get excited because if you know me, I love barbecue. Between brunch and barbecue, I'd be happy. I'd be set for the rest of my life. Some good barbecue.
Where's the best barbecue you've ever had?
I have to say my brother is he's pretty good grill master. I mean, like when my birthday is in December, it's the day after Christmas. And so there have been years when it's like, what do you want? You know what? I just want you to barbecue. And it's, I'm from Ohio, so it's cold, and he will grill. And I'm like, that's serious. Serious. But it's funny because here in New York, the barbecue spots, and I don't eat pork, so you have, and not a lot of these restaurants serve barbecue chicken or grilled chicken, but the meat is good, but the sides are bad. Mm. Yeah, they just don't meet. They just don't, everything. And barbecue is not just about like good ribs or chicken or brisket. It's like, that's a part of it, at least to me, a part of that's definitely an important part. But when you have great sides and the barbecue, that hands down. I will go there every day, all day. I just haven't discovered that here yet. No.
Sounds like a restaurant opportunity for somebody.
Or do you like barbecue? Are you a barbecue person at all?
Yeah, I do like it. Mm-hmm.
I'm about it all day. I could do it every day. So as we know, we talked about Desiree, and she's out here making great strides and has been doing it for a very long time. But I want to kind of get into this is kind of a serious moment here. It's just serious. Listen, there's been a debate about this for a very long time. I actually take this very seriously, as do many other people. And I'm just going to, let you all listen and, see for yourself, and you let me know your thoughts. Here you go.
I woke up this morning with a song on my heart and my spirit, and it's early morning, but I want to share it with my friends, family, my followers, and my fans. Sugar don't go on grits. Sure as I'm John P. Key. If you need some sugar, go get you some cream of wheat. Hey, somebody go tell Kev on stage, Fred Hammond, you know better. What they wrote on the box was a trick because sugar just don't go. Sugar don't go. Hey, sugar don't go on my grits. No. Sugar don't go, don't you go. Sugar don't go. Sugar don't go. Sugar don't go. Sugar don't go on grits, no. Sugar don't go on them grits.
I love it. Okay, first of all, very talented performer.
What'd you say?
He's a very talented performer.
He is one of like a top gospel singer. He's had all these choirs. And so when I saw that, I was like, yes, John, yes, you are correct. But that's been a debate. That's a debate for a very long time. Some people say yes, some people say no. There's some comments here. Oh boy, let me see what's going on over here. Don't do it. Yes. It didn't. And he did sing it. He did. He took it very seriously. He took it very, very seriously. But has that ever been a thing, or have you heard of it, like sugar or no sugar, or cheese grits, of course, but you're not going to sugar in that. But
yeah, I've had grits. I live in Minnesota, in Minneapolis. There's a restaurant that has really great grits, and I'm a savory kind of gal anyway. Like, I don't I don't need sweets. So for me, no, sugar would never go on grits. I am in alignment. I want give me like the savory, the creamy, like that's what I want.
Yes. It's funny. I was like, no, he's right. But I just love, because he took that to heart. He meant every single word. He took it seriously, and he was like, no, we're not doing it. I'm not doing it, and you're not either. So
he was delivering a point of view for sure. Absolutely.
Yes.
I felt it.
So we've gone, from we're about to go from grits and the debate of that. We might have to talk about that on a later episode. But we've gone from sugar and grits or no sugar and grits. Now we're going to get into some delicious bites. And I just want to share with you all that I have a really great friend, a good friend, and she is an amazing cook. And she decided that she was like, oh, you're going for dinner? You're like, oh, okay, just a little something. And she literally, like, this is what she made. This is what you go to someone's house, and this is what you make. This is shrimp wonton soup. And I was like, who does this unless you're finding it at a restaurant? But this is what she had at home. I was like, wait, what? Like, you made it? Like, she made this. And that's awesome. And this has bok choy and mushrooms. Now, I'm not a huge bok choy fan, but it's all right. Sometimes you just you'll find out, you'll discover some things, and you'll be like, you know what? It's not so bad. It's not so bad. But that right there is everything.
Beautiful. The presentation is stunning.
Right? You really thought, I was like, you didn't make this.
I just, if I can't do it in like 20 minutes, I'm not interested.
Right.
I will eat it gladly.
Yes. And that is exactly how I feel these days. That is exactly how I feel. I'm like, yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Wait, we have people who are now commenting on the grits. We're going back just a tad. No, you are right. Wanda, sugar don't go on grits. You are correct. I don't know many people who do. But what's happening with this shrimp wonton? Let's see here. Jason said yum. Verna, your yes. Is that for the wonton soup? That would surprise me. But okay, we're gonna go with it. Oh, yeah, you probably would like that. Yes. Where am I going? Who made it? Teresa. Teresa made it. Teresa Minger made that. It amazing. Awesome. And I am going to post the recipe. So after tonight, the recipe will be up and the recipe will be up on the site and you'll get it tomorrow. Yes. Yes, yes. And Jordan's like, that's my mom. Yes, Jordan, darling. Yes. Yes. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, and it was delicious. Delicious. So look, we've gone from shrimp and grits, not shrimp and grits. See, I get it confused. Sugar grits, no sugar grits. We had some shrimp, wonton soup, and now we're going to get into some smash or pass.
All right.
Now, Megan, this is pretty serious. People get it. They're starting to get in these comments. So let's get started. And I'm going to show you what I have tonight. Let's see. Smash or pass. And here we go.
Ooh.
Tell me what this is.
It's a croissant, isn't it? With like confetti, whatever.
It is. But this is a birthday cake croissant. It's
okay.
Flaky, buttery croissant with a gooey sprinkled cake batter center.
I don't really care for sweets that much. Plus, I don't eat gluten. So yeah, I'm fun.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah. So you're gonna pass.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass.
You're gonna pass. Okay. Let's see what folks are out here saying. What is that? Wait, all my teeth hurt. Yeah, Jay, your teeth would hurt. It's true. I think my teeth were hurt too, because that is pretty serious. Because I was like, the sprinkles and cake batter?
Yeah, it's a little
That's a lot. I'm like, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. Yes. Agree. People are like, no, we're passing.
All right, everybody.
What'd you say?
I said, all right, everybody. We are in a
Yeah, we have, yeah. Vernon says, yeah, I love sweets, but passing. Yeah, everyone, that's like unanimous pass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's see here. We are about to get into this next one I have. Come on. Do I have a winner? I don't know.
I would smash the hell out of that. That's like mac and cheese egg roll.
Yes.
There's something green in there. What is it?
I don't know what that is. Let's see. So we have a crispy fried exterior, encasing a golden creamy cheese and macaroni. So that green, maybe it's a spice.
Whatever it is, I'm here for
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So we have a mac and cheese spring roll. What say you folks? I don't know. You're laughing. I don't know if that means you would smash or not, Wanda, but okay.
Absolutely. Smashing that.
Jason says smash.
Mm-hmm.
Verna is a no-go.
Nope.
Yeah, she said no. Shame. It's shame on you. Yes. I know. All right. So let's see. Next up is okay, so this is a fried chicken
in waffle cone.
Yeah. I mean, it's just boneless chunks of chicken in a sweet waffle cone. I'm like, okay, maybe. But I wouldn't eat the cone. I would just eat the chicken.
Yeah, I'm with you, but I'd probably just pass and go straight back to the mac and cheese
roll.
There's something about chunks of chicken that don't have any bones that I'm like, how was this made?
Oh, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. People say that. So I'm assuming Verna's passing on that. Jay, I'm assuming that this is for the chicken in the cone. You are
Verna, you have a very discerning palate. I like this.
Yes. She is like, no, the answer is no. I know. We're like, come on, Verna. So she's like, yes, yes. And then, oh, you were laughing at Meg's response to smashing the egg roll. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. And Jordan, I'm assuming you mean that you need some meat in there, and you need some meat in that mac. That would be good though. Like if there was some type of like
Bacon?
brisket or something in that mac and cheese roll, that would be bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I agree. I agree to that. I agree. So I think, I think we're passing on this too. I
Yeah.
think it sounds like we're like, okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have one more for you, and let's see what you say. Now, this is one of my all-time favorites. So I'm smashing all day, every day, and this is a French martini.
Ooh.
It's a French martini. It is a raspberry liqueur with vodka, or you can do just regular vodka or vanilla vodka and pineapple juice.
Mm.
It's my favorite. It's one of my favorites. So,
Ooh, you had me until the pineapple.
oh,
I still would smash it.
okay.
I
Okay,
think,
you might try. You might say, I might try it. I
yeah.
might see. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I might see what happens here.
Mm-hmm.
Have no one is like they're like no, no. Smash. Okay. Yes, Jason
Oh.
is like I smashed twice. Okay, all right, Jason. Then we Wanda's a smash, and Verna, is
Ooh.
passing.
Verna. Wait, did Verna, you didn't say smash to anything tonight, did you?
I don't think she did. No,
I'm impressed.
no.
I want to know what Verna's fridge looks like.
Right. Right. Be like, oh, she said no, get out of here. I'm passing on it. I'm passing. All right. Well, we kind of it was maybe it was, maybe it's even tonight. No, I think we had like one or two smashes. Like we had one for sure smash and like maybe a half smash.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of might smash.
Mm-hmm.
Um Wait, what's going on here? Yes, Verna says I don't like anything. She's like no, I don't. It's okay. It's okay. And okay, go to that
Oh.
one. Oh, smash. Yes. On the martini. Gotcha. Gotcha. All right, well, I didn't do too bad. Not half bad tonight.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Not too bad. So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to wrap up this episode. Like we are about to call it an evening, but I do want to say, hold on here, that I saw something in here for you, Megan. And let me go back. Oh, wait, comments. Let's see. Up. And this person says also the link to find out about the personal coaching classes with Megan. So yes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a little bit here. Hold on. How you can get in touch and find Megan here is like this. She is the host of Bullshift podcast, and this is her website. So, Megan, is all this information going to be up on your website, or it's going to be there soon?
Yes.
Or
So
kick off?
starting on Sunday, it'll be up Sunday night. In terms of this particular program, there are other ways to work with me, of course, but this particular program will go live on Sunday. And I'm on Instagram and Facebook. On Instagram, my handle is Meghan with an H _ Krause. And then Facebook, hello, Meghan Krause. So I'd love to connect with people. It's been so fun connecting with you tonight, Laura.
I'm excited because I hope we can do this again.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll figure out another topic and tie in the food and some good like helping tips and figuring out how we can live better with purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm with that. about it. So Meghan, listen, I want to thank you again for being here. This has been enjoyable, informative, and authentic, which is a wonderful thing. Again, connect with Meghan on Instagram. Um, here's the information right here on the screen. Bullshift. She has some great episodes, so check her out. Check out her podcast. It's extremely helpful. Um, and she's funny. And she is funny, so you will be. It's not like it does not fall flat at all. You will be like, wait, what? So you will enjoy it. So again, I want to thank everyone for being up here tonight, being a part. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Food Worth Forking channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Like this episode. Follow me on IG, Twitter, and Facebook. Food Worth Forking. It's been a pleasure. I always enjoy it. And listen, folks, make sure you take care of yourselves out here in this world. And listen, until we eat again, make it food worth forking. Have a good night.
Thank you.